Good evening, brothers and sisters. So, before I start to give my Dhamma talk, I would like to do a short meditation. So, please find a very comfortable position. Gently close your eyes. Keep your back straight as much as you can. Take few deep long breaths and relax your whole body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Observe all of the different parts of your body individually and see if they are relaxed, free of tension or strain. Anywhere you find tension or strain, concentrate your mind on that area and allow it to release and relax. Experience relaxation and peace. Feel harmony with your body. Feel close to yourself. Now send your loving thoughts towards yourself, thinking thus: I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. Understand the meaning of each word clearly and deeply, then repeat it to yourself. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. Now send your loving thoughts towards whole world. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Different people, different parts of the world, different countries, different ethnic groups. May all of them be well, be happy, be peaceful. Now observe your mind, observe your body. Your body is relaxed, your mind is calm, tranquil and peaceful. Make a strong determination to practice this simple loving kindness meditation every day, regularly, with diligence and patience. Understand how important this meditation practice to keep yourself happy, peaceful and balanced. May peace be with you, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be peaceful. Thank you very much. Please open your eyes. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Today I am very happy to be here. First, I want to pay my gratitude to Brother Billy Tan, who introduced me to this beautiful place and also this beautiful community. So, thank you so much coming this evening. Maybe you want to know a little bit more about me. How many people already saw me? Because I saw some familiar faces. Okay, so anyway, I had to give a little introduction. I try to make it short. So born and raised in Sri Lanka, 10-year training as a novice monk. My 20s I moved to Australia. I used to live there 4 years. Then later I moved to Michigan, USA. So working with Sri Lankan Buddhist community in Michigan, Detroit, 5 years. It was a wonderful time. I was the chief monk of the temple. I did a lot of work there. After 5 years later, I felt this is not the place for me. If I want to live in this country, United States, I want to serve to these local people, because it's very difficult to get local people to ethnic temples, because everything we are doing in our language, our culture, our traditions, sometimes it is not appealing to local people because they don't have any idea about it. They enjoy it, but it doesn't make any sense. So now, what I am doing, it doesn't make any sense to me. And so then I was thinking I want to move away, and I made the decision I am moving away from this place. I don't have a place to go. Anyway, I announced to people within next 2 months I am leaving this place. So everybody kind of surprised and shocked, and I really enjoyed the place. I did a lot of work, and they asked me, Bhante, where do you go? I said, I don't know. And I just go somewhere. And so then I'm thinking, then somebody helped me. And so one American man who come to the temple, and he asked me, Bhante, if you need some help, write to different churches around the country. Some churches are very open-minded people. I said, I don't have any idea about any church, and plus I don't know how to write. So then he said, okay, I will help you to write a letter. So he did. Now he said, your job, find email address online and send them for different churches. I was so excited. Every night, sitting in front of the computer, I am keep forwarding this email. More than 60 churches I did. Now I am so excited. I was thinking I will receive so many emails, responses. Now 4 weeks, nothing. Now I am so scared, because fear for unknown something foolish about me. I just announced to people I'm leaving within 2 months. Now I have to leave. Now 6 weeks later, I got 2 emails, one from Georgia, Atlanta, other one where I'm living now near Chicago, the Illinois state. So I moved to Chicago. I met the minister, the priest, and he said, welcome to my church. But I don't know how to help a Buddhist monk. I don't have any idea about Buddhism or Buddhist monk. But anyway, I can introduce you to a Zen meditation group who is meeting at my church, maybe 4 or 5 people. I said, sure. I met them. Then there was a man, he said, Bhante, if you need a place to live, please come to my house. That's the way American people talk, right? Then I moved to that house. First day, then he introduced me, this is my wife, this is my 2 children, 3 and 4. So there's another room, you can live with us. Then I was thinking, living with a family? Even I don't know about my family because I left home age 10. I became a monk age 11. I don't have any idea how people living. So anyway, I had to accept because that's the option I have. I just did. First week I was so quiet. I just like an owl, just watching what is going on, right? And so first 2 days so difficult. Why? These 2 children are so loud and running all over, all the time come and knock my door and Bhante, what are you doing? Please open the door. They are kids. And also television is ongoing. Husband and wife, they are very happy. Next 30 minutes they are unhappy. And again they are happy. Again they are laughing. I can hear again they are fighting. And back and forth, all those family dramas. Now there's a Buddhist monk. It's a nice combination, right? So anyway, they started to fall in love with me. I started to fall in love with them. And children loves me so much. And finally those 2 children become my English teachers. So I didn't speak that much English. You say hi, bye, and thank you. Those are the 3 words I knew. And so now I started my ESL English classes and those 2 children teaching me. I'm always talking to them. It doesn't matter if I'm making mistakes. It's not a big deal. Then once I was at that church, the priest, the minister, he asked me, why you don't start a meditation group at my church? He was so kind, gentleman, and now he is over 90, maybe 96. And I'm so grateful for this man who made what he did for my life. And he said, please start a meditation group at my church. How wonderful, it's beautiful. He asked me to do that. But I have so much fear in my mind. Right away I said, no, I don't want to do that. Then he asked why. I said, I'm scared. And because I don't know how to give a talk in English. And so even I don't know how to communicate everyday things. Don't ask me. Then he was, no, I really feel something coming on your way. Why you don't start something? I said, no, I don't want it. Now he's keep pushing, I keep telling no, right? But he doesn't stop. I'm keep telling no. Finally, I have to surrender. I said, okay, now I don't know. I just said, okay, now I have to do something. And so like 13 years ago, I started my first meditation class, church, sanctuary. And first day, I was so nervous. I opened my eyes. I saw 3 people sitting in front of me. And even they are not just sitting and they are staring at me like this. That's more scary, right? And so then, I don't know what I had to say. I just smiled. And then they smiled at me. Then I smile again, right? Back and forth we smile each other. And like 15 minutes. And that's it. First day, 15 minutes, smile to each other, right? I didn't say even a word. Now I was kind of so quiet. Then they thought it's done. I just bow and they left. Now I was so disappointed. And same time I'm happy. I'm really sure they are not coming again, right? That's what I was thinking. Then I talked to the priest. I said, I'm disappointed. I'm very sorry. I didn't fulfill your desire. And I don't think those people will come again. Let's stop it. Right? Then he said, no, let's try one more time. If doesn't work, doesn't work. I will let you to go. Then I said, okay, I'm really sure. Now I have gut feeling they are not coming. So the next day, what I did, Saturday, I'm sitting there 9 in the morning. So then I close my eyes. I'm waiting because the class start at 10. I'm breathe in and breathe out to relax my body and mind. Then I'm praying myself, please people don't show up. And so then I just opened my eyes, then I heard something, and then I saw same 3 people and sitting and staring at me, right? It was kind of freaking out. And so then what I did, I was so quiet, I don't know what I had to do because I was thinking nobody's coming. Now I had to say something. Then I again smiled and they smiled at me, and then I said something. I cannot remember what I said. Then they left. Now I am comfortable. Now they keep coming every Saturday morning. Now I have 10, 12, 15 people living with that family, teaching at the that church, and go to school. Then they said, okay, now you have good turnout. Why you don't start another class Monday night? Now I have 2 classes. Now I'm comfortable, I'm happy, I know how to express myself, and Dhamma is keep coming. And so, can you believe I did 9 years? I was teaching 9 years. Now I call my group Blue Lotus Meditation Group. Now in the church, inside the church, I am functioning as a Buddhist group. They are very open-minded people. They allow me to keep a Buddha statue. So 9 years later, they said, we don't have enough funds and we don't have enough members. We are moving to another place. And so what we are going to do, we are going to sell this property. 110 years old, beautiful church building. Next door, they have a 2-story building, house. So then they asked me to, to purchase it. I said, I don't have money. All the members, they put the money together, and within few months, we got the church. So it is a beautiful property. And so right after I buy it, everybody were thinking, Bhante, make it really Buddhist, right? I take all their stained glasses. 110 means so long in the United States. I said, no, I am not going to do that. Leave exactly where it was. I changed the flow and colors a little bit, a few things, but most of things I didn't change at all. Now if one day you are visiting Chicago, please come to the Blue Lotus Temple. The beauty of Blue Lotus Temple, one side, like a 13 feet tall, Jesus standing. Other side, 9 feet tall, Buddha standing. That is the Blue Lotus Temple. Now we call the Blue Lotus Temple. Many American people who come to the Blue Lotus Temple, they feel very comfortable. They are very happy because they have their feeling. Because if I took everything down, I think that's totally against the Buddhist teaching. It's totally against the loving kindness and compassion and acceptance. I don't want to be rude and I don't want to be cruel to those people who help me. Because it's a historical building, I saved everything where it was. And now sometimes people come to Blue Lotus Temple and sometimes they are very religious people and all are white American people. And sometimes they feel, I'm a Catholic, but I want to learn meditation. Is it okay if I looking at the Jesus and meditate? I said, why not? If you want to do that, please do. So we all are looking at the Buddha and practicing meditation. One person looking at the Jesus and practicing meditation. So after a few weeks, I can see little by little, her cushion is keep moving. And after 2-3 weeks, now she is looking at the Buddha and practicing meditation. So I didn't ask anybody to convert. I didn't ask anybody to how to respect or bow or do the chanting. Only thing I ask them, you are here to learn and practice meditation. So just sit down and practice meditation. Now 13 years I'm doing this work. Now they know how to chant. Now they know how to bow, how to respect to the monks, and they know everything because that wisdom came through their own practice. They didn't follow what I said. They experienced themselves. So, I really enjoy it now. So now we have 5 monastics. That means 4 Buddhist monk and 1 Buddhist nun. And so I'm the one traveling around the world and sharing my experience with people. This is a little background about me. Otherwise, you may think, who is this monk coming from the United States, right? And so you have to know a little bit more about me. Then you feel a little comfortable. So today, before that, I think when I look around, when I experience everyday life, whole world is on fire. Right? Now think about your life. Hectic, problems, issues, disturbing emotions. When you go to the world, world wars and fighting and put the bombs, killing each other. So many negative things are happening around the world. A lot of desire, greediness. It's a kind of burning issues. People are very unhappy. This morning, one person who came to the temple, Senthul temple, I am waiting for breakfast dana, and he said, last night I did a special meditation session, so we had the big turnout, and he said, I really enjoy your meditation class last night, but I have lots of regrets in my mind. I'm a warrior, I'm worrying about things, I'm sad. Sometimes I feel angry, I feel disappointed. And so then I said, when I'm looking at you, you look happy. Always I have seen many times you come to the temple and offering dana, and always you are smiling. Then he said, Bhante, as you said last night, even I have problems, I know how to smile. Right? That's totally true. And so that's what I said last night. So we have so many issues and problems in our lives and around the world. But even we have so many problems, the good thing about us, we know how to smile. I was sitting that front, the chair. So when everybody walked into this room and you saw there was a monk sitting, everybody look at me and smile. I was smiling at you too. Right? And everybody is bowing and very respectful. So I felt very joyful because people are very warm and welcoming. So even you are smiling, do you think you don't have any problems? You do, right? I do too. And so if you want to know my problem, please come to Chicago. And so ask those monks and all the young monks or our devotees, they will tell what are the problems Bhante Sujatha has, right? So that means, that we all have problems. It doesn't matter. Monks have problems and devotees have problems. Mothers have problems. Kings and queens, they have problems. Countries, they have problems. President and prime minister, ministers, they have problems. And everybody has something to complain about their life. Right? So that means sometimes people call in the Buddhist world, everybody is suffering. Everybody is suffering. I don't like that word that much. I don't want to suffer. And so everybody is not happy. They are not content. Right? Unsatisfactoriness. They have something to complain. So how we are going to solve this issue? Right? And this morning when I talked to that person, I said, my dear friend, brother, I really see when you keep telling me you are unhappy, that means you are really holding something inside you, right? Oh yes, Bhante, oh yes, I have so many things I'm regret about. Then I said, why you don't let go? It is hard. It is difficult. Then I asked, what are the other options you have? He said, nothing, right? And then I said, let go. Then he said, no, it is hard. Then I said, it means, I was really direct and like a arrow and like a thunder. I said, that means you are really enjoying suffering. Then it hit him really hard. So then he said, how somebody is going to enjoy the suffering? I said, like you. Look at it, now you are enjoying. I'm keep telling you to let go, right? You said, no, I don't want to let go, right? You want to keep it, right? Because, it's kind of Okay. Then he said, I cannot sleep at night. Last night I didn't sleep even 4 hours. He keep complaining. And so, but he doesn't want to let go. I asked why it is let go. Then I don't have something to hold. So think about how people talk, how people think. That's why I call people really enjoying the suffering. Right? Now, you have to understand suffering is optional. Suffering is optional, totally up to you, totally up to me. I suffered a lot in my life for different situations, and maybe you think, how come Buddhist monks suffer? I don't want to tell all the stories right now for you. My suffering, please come and ask me personally, I will tell you. And so I suffered a lot. Then one day I realized I'm holding something. I'm believing something. I stuck something. So something wrong, something going on, something I cannot describe, something I cannot figure it out. Then I deeply start to think. So now the thing I found, why I am suffering, I am so clinging to the idea, the concept, who I really believe, who I am. Who I am, we call I, right? Or professional word, ego, right? I, And so once last day I heard from the brother Billy, I my syndrome, right? Billy brother, so I my syndrome. It's like a syndrome, right? There is no benefit that much, but we are so clinging to it. So now I'm asking you, who is this I? So today I'm not going to talk about ego, what Sigmund Freud said, right? If you want to know that, maybe you did some psychology lessons in the school. I did too. So why I am spending my time to do that? You can go and read online, Google, and so you can find all those information. I'm not here to bring all the Western psychology or Eastern psychology or whatever those things. And so I'm going to use my own experiences, how I little by little, day by day, moment by moment, see that problem within me, and I took care of myself, and how I supported, to my own spiritual journey, right? More than talking about what Buddha said like this and that, and I can give those information so much too. But again, you can figure it out, those things, because you can read the book. But if I really express something, my humble own experience and dealing with that most difficult issue like ego, this is what I learned. So first thing, I was asking, what is ego? Who is I? Right? Always question is wonderful, right? Who is I? So now if I ask you, right, please give me all the answers through your, the personal, practical level. Don't go to the books, okay? And who is I? Is I as who is I? How you are going to answer that? I know some people already sit with me a retreat. I did that discussion. And so who is I? Then you can say your name, right? I am who? So and so. Then that's it? That's I? What else? Maybe you can tell your profession. I am working as a teacher. That's I? What is I? Very difficult to tell that, right? Very difficult to describe who is I. So, according to the Buddhist knowledge, the Buddhist teaching, Buddha said, I means false belief. This makes sense? False belief. We are believing something not exist. I means false beliefs. Without I, can you live? In everyday life? Without I, can you live your life? No. That means you need I. Right? That's why you have one. Right? Without I, very difficult to live. So I figured too, without I, how I am going to communicate? In this world, there are two different kind of truths. One is conventional truth. Conventional truth. So for our convenience, I said, before I come here, this is a just chair. right? This is just chair. Now it is whose chair? My chair, right? This is my chair. So now, I can see other chair outside. So I want to differentiate the outside chair and this chair. I call the chair where I am sitting. This is my chair, right? If somebody asks, which chair? But my chair, right? So now I made the name, and also it's a chair, and my chair is belong to me right now and in next hour. So your cushion, you call it my cushion. Before you come here, it is your cushion? No, now it is your cushion, right? So always we are holding something, we make the name for our convenience. So if I sit in this cushion again and again and again and again and again, what will happen? I get attached to it again and again and again and again. That's what happened to us. We make all the pain and suffering and difficulties, we forget. We use it as a name for our convenience. We forget that. If you really remember that, then we see impermanence. Everything is changing. Then you can let go. So then there are two different truths. One is conventional truth for our convenience. That sense, it is okay to have that self for our convenience. I call it sometimes healthy ego. You can call it healthy ego, whatever word you want to use, right? Then other truth is the ultimate truth. Whatever we learn and through our spiritual journey and practice, whatever understand, our Dhamma practice, that's the ultimate, the truth. So now when we are living this society, we have to understand ego in one way, one sense, it is important to have for our convenience, live our life. Now I have to call this is my robe, right? This is your dress. This is a microphone. There is a name for our convenience, but there is no such. There is no such. If you really believe your body is I, then think about you separate all your body parts, right? Now you have hair, your nails, your legs, your hands, separate piles, right? So then I, looking at your pointing your hair, I ask, this is I? If I ask that this is I, how do you answer that? Then he said, no, that's not I, that's hair. So even after we separate our own body parts, there is no such person. There is no such personality. However, after we put all those details together, we made the form. That form we make a name, then we use that name for our convenience. But the problem is, we forget. Now we are so used to this body. We are so used to using this body and thinking about it and building up so many concepts and dogmas and belief system and religions and maybe Buddhism, right? Our own beliefs, our own family, whatever you are holding. Now everything become my and mine. First came I, the second become my, third mine. So that's how things moving. Now think about, when we come to this world, we didn't bring anything. Did you bring a meditation cushion when you come to this world? No. Did you bring a temple? No. Did you bring a monk? No. Didn't you bring your children and family, husband and wife? No. Nothing. You just came empty hand. After you come to this world, you collect so many information and you name them, attach them, so many things happen in your mind, and now you create all the problems. All the problems. Sometimes people think, oh, good attachment. Good attachment. Sometimes people think, Buddhism, this is what I really believe. Right? All other things are, we are the good people, we are Buddhist. People think we are the good people, we are good people, other people are, all other religious people are, they are wrong. So then there is another ego. Right? So people who really understand, we don't do that. We always accepting everything where it is and without attaching to them, dealing with them, live with them and cultivate with them, there is no conflict. So think about when you have this word I, my and mine and that ego, what will happen? we want to have more. Why? When we have more, you think we are secure. We secure because we all have something in our mind, insecurity. Agree? You all have insecurity. So because of that insecurity, you think if I have this, I will be happy. If I have this, I will be happy. If I have enough money, I will be happy. If I have all the good children, I will be happy. Right? Now maybe you have all those things. Are you happy? Still you are complaining. Right? Now I can see still everybody is unhappy. Right? So sometimes people have more things, that much they are unhappy. So don't believe when you have all those things, for myself, for my family, my and mine, everything will be happy. It is not the true story of this life. So now we have to be very mindful. The meditation will help to understand, observe this difficulty. Right? So people may think, when I do, I am very sorry to say that, don't misunderstand, I am not criticizing, okay? This is the way I talk and I explain. People think if I sitting more hours, I will understand these things. I don't think so. It depends how you meditate. Right? I have seen so many people, they claim themselves, they are practicing meditation 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, they are very happy. Sometimes they come to me, oh Bhante, I went for the Vipassana retreat. Even today one person said, I said, great. And one day somebody came to me and I said, Vipassana retreat. Now everybody is practicing meditation with me. And so then that person raised the hand. Last week I did the 10-day Vipassana retreat. I'm so happy, I'm proud. I did 8 hours meditation per day. Then I said, who cares? Right? So then she was kind of looking at me. I'm kind of, the mean. I was smiling. I said, I don't care. So thank you so much doing that anyway. But I don't care. You did 8 hours or 10 hours or 5 minutes or 24. It doesn't matter for me. Even it doesn't matter for these people. It is always matter how you did it for yourself. I said, anyway, thank you so much for sharing it. Now I felt the voice and sound she is giving to other people. I'm the better one. I'm the better one. I'm doing good. I did 8 hours sitting per day. So, that means even people who practice meditation, they are the people who have most of the ego problems. Ego problems. So, I was in London, and so then I went to the temple. And so at the temple, and there was a man who is in the kitchen and cooking all the people monks who come and go. London is a very busy place, always a transit. And so usually my nature, it doesn't matter person who is cooking in the kitchen and all the workers at the temple, or who, it doesn't matter. I go and talk to everybody. That's my nature. And so then that person who is cooking and start to build a wonderful relationship with me, and he said, oh, you are like my son, and I was young that time. And then he said, you are very different. I asked why. Then he said, it is so funny to say that, I want to say that word exactly he said, right? He said, all these meditation buggers who come to this temple, they are crazy. That's what he said. I guess, what? Right? And so, they are so crazy. They have so much ego, Bhante. If I give a tea, they don't like it. If I give some hot water, they don't like it. And always there's something complain. And so, then he said, I don't have that many problems. Whatever we have food, I just ate. I enjoy my life here at the temple. But these monks and the people who come for meditation, oh my God, I have so many problems with these people. Right? I think I don't meditate at all. I just doing my work, but I am happier than them. So I realized I learned something beautiful about myself, and also I learned something beautiful about the people that were practicing, and I thought we have to be more mindful, address what we are really believing inside us. So then I realized most of our problems we have in our life, problem is we are believing something inside us. right? I'm a perfect person, I'm a good person, I'm a better monk than other monks, and the way I talk is wonderful, way I do things are better than other people. And so sometimes when you come to the meditation, I can sit cross-legged 1 hour, but other people cannot. So even this trip, so many people came to me and said there's so many different things. It's very interesting. My nature, when I see something, I said, why you are worrying about other people? When you come to the temple, why you are worrying about other people how practicing meditation? Just do it yourself. So Bhante, I am looking at them, right? I am looking at them, so I am looking at them too. We all are looking at them. So what's the problem? You are making the problem, creating your own issue. That means they are not the problem. The problem is you. You have the problem. So you have to find that problem. So then when I ask them, what is the problem? I don't have problem. So I said, no, you have problem. Problem is you are believing you are better than other people. So always people think, no, I'm not doing that. But that idea, I'm telling you, very sensitive, very subtle, even you don't see it. That's much it is dangerous. Very subtle, that ego is very subtle. So be careful this, okay? I can see this one is very clearly. When you practice meditation, then you will be happy. Of course, right? It's relaxing, breathing in and breathing out, you are happy. Then right after that happiness, there's another demon walk into you. What is the demon? I want to teach. I want to teach, I want to become a teacher. What is the problem? That means I'm better than other people. I have, the strength to teach. But, I'm very grateful for my teachers. When I was a young monk, they never asked me to teach. I didn't have any desire to teach. I didn't have any idea to go to America and teach. I didn't have anything. I just did my work as a young monk. I studied. I just did whatever they asked me to do. Right? Now I am finally and automatically, naturally, I came to this place. Now more than teaching, I am not a good teacher actually. I am not a good teacher. I am not teaching you today. I am just talking about myself loudly. That's what I am doing today. So if I am teaching, I am a teacher, you are the student, you are listening to me. No, there is no such thing. We are sharing. You can ask all the question, whatever question you want to ask. But when you ask those questions, if I know the answer, I said, I will know the answer. This is what I can give it to you. If I don't know the answer, I said, I am very sorry, sister. I am very sorry, brother. I don't know. I am very humble to say that. It's not. If you don't like what I said, please say I don't like you. So then I will say thank you. And so anyway, I am the one as a monk had the huge ego in my life. This is how I discovered. Right? I was thinking when I was like a 20, I'm the best monk ever in this whole world. That's what I was thinking. Because I became a monk age 11, whole my life people were bowing to me, respecting to me. It doesn't matter, even a young monk, people bow and respect, right? That's how I raised, that's how I live my life. And nobody touched me, even my mother doesn't hug me or touch me, and I'm a kind of very special person and always sitting on pedestal. Then my teacher sent me to Australia. Now I am a young monk sitting in Australia by myself, middle of this farmland, and so boring. I don't like it at all. But always I am looking through the window. One day I saw there was a big white bus moving, going. So then I thought, oh, there's a bus. I want to see what it says in the bus. Then I saw, go to Brisbane. Then I thought, oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to have a bus ride to Brisbane. I never had the bus ride in Australia, no idea. Then I stopped the bus. Then I get into the bus. I got my ticket. So in Sri Lanka, as a monk, it doesn't matter. When you get into a bus, there's maybe 100 people in the bus. When we get into the bus, even 100 people, they just get up and we get the front seat. Right? We get the front seat. Now everybody is very respectful and giving the front seat. And also, government law, it says this is just for clergies. Even they are sitting, they have to get up. We know when we get into the bus, always we get into the bus, we know we have our seat, right? And so that's my conditioned mind. Now I'm in Australia, get into the bus. Everybody is looking at me, not directly, looking at me like that and turn their head because they don't want to see looking at me directly because they don't want to offend somebody. Now I don't like where they're looking at me, and so it's kind of hurt my feeling. And so now I'm kind of waiting for seat, but nobody give me seat. I was so upset. I was so angry. I'm thinking, these people are not good. I don't like them. Now I felt so upset and angry. I don't want to have a bus ride, but I don't know what I have to say. I want to get out, but I cannot. I don't know what I have to do. Then if I get out, I don't get another bus. Now I'm so confused. And now anyway, I'm holding that, the pole and sitting and moving here and there, and my robe is going down and so many difficulties. Then I really hate it, right? And so then I thought, I'm done. My Dhamma work in Australia. I don't like these mean people. They don't know how to respect a monk. No, I'm making my own stories. Then I returned to the temple and I didn't enjoy at all, right? In the temple, I called my teacher. I'm very sorry to tell me, please send me a ticket. I'm done. I want to come back to Sri Lanka because these people don't respect to a monk. That's why I said, my teacher was laughing. And he said, okay, I will do that. Don't, be hurry. Now take a little time. So, but he didn't send me a ticket. Anyway, and so then, one day I'm waiting for the ticket, but he didn't send, and I called a couple of times, they're kind of ignoring me. And so, then I start to think to myself, what is the problem I have in my mind? I start to think. I was like a 21, right? I was thinking, what is the problem I have in my mind? Why I don't like these people? Why I hate Australia? Then I realized I have a problem. I am really believing people have to treat me like a highness, like a king, right? Like a special person. I have believing, I am thinking, I am expecting something I want to have like this. That's the problem. But still, as that, the man this morning who said it's very difficult to let go, I felt, of course, it is so difficult to let go. Because then I felt if I let go, then who I am? I don't have anything to hold and feel comfortable, my comforting zone. I am not there. Then no, I don't have anything to attach. Then I felt, then where I belong to, right? That's my identity. Then I'm calling myself, that's my identity. I need my identity. I have to stand for my monkhood, right? So I'm thinking, then at the same time I said, no, that's not the Dhamma. That's not what Buddha said. I know all those intellectual teaching of the Buddha, but very difficult to apply into my everyday life. Now keep thinking, but I can see I'm kind of adjusting, getting better, adjusting, going back, kind of like that, back and forth. Anyway, I was there 5 years, right? No, 4.5 years I was there. So then I had the chance. Now I'm getting better, okay? Now think about how I work on my ego, right? Now after that, if you want to test my ego, you have time, after this sermon, right? And so then I moved to Australia, America, and so at the airport, and so Detroit, a lot of the black people and African American people, the way they talk and their talking style is totally different. And the tall black man walking into the like immigration was like, "Hey man, what's up?" Right? And that's how he talked to me. Then I said, "What's up?" And I was thinking, what is that, right? And that's the way to talk. Again I can see pumping that negative energy. Oh, he doesn't know how to talk to a Buddhist monk. But anyway, I saw the problem. In that moment, I felt a little bit better. Even I don't like it. I saw my mindfulness is kind of kicking me. And so I really see it, I'm getting better. I accepted. Now I'm working at the temple. And I'm the chief monk. And so this is very interesting what happened. So now one day I had this bus ride from Detroit to New York City. Now I'm sitting in the bus. I'm so excited for 15 hours bus drive. So now everybody get into the bus sitting. Now my seat next to me is empty. Nobody sit next to me. Right? Why? I am weird. right? According to American version, I'm weird, right? I'm look funny. I'm like, like a clown, right? And that's how they say. And so then I was sitting and kind of waiting. I feel that people are kind of looking at me. And so then last minute, like a teenager, maybe 18, 19 years, he just get into the bus looking for a seat. There's no seats. Only seat next to me, right? He just sat exactly like this Buddha statue, just sitting like this, not moving at all. Right? He's like a very straight posture, like sitting there. I just looking at him, he even not looking at me. And so I feel a little uncomfortable. Because how I'm going to sit in this, the young man like this, he's not moving. If I want to go to bathroom or get up or something like that, he doesn't move at all. So anyway, I was thinking that's my nature. I want to be comfortable. I never easily let things go if I want to get something. That's my nature. I said, hey, hi, right? And then he said, hi. That's it. No expression at all, right? And then I said, oh, my name is so-and-so, Then he said, oh, something like that. I cannot remember his name. He's not, even that English, that accent, I cannot understand. So finally he asked a question, who are you? So I said, I'm a Buddhist monk. The next question he asked, why are you wearing a tablecloths? That's what he asked. He was thinking these are like a tablecloth. Because that area, maybe they never seen a Buddhist monk, he doesn't have any idea about the Buddhist monk. The second question he asked, why are you wearing a tablecloth? So then I thought, tablecloth? And no, I really heard, right? He said tablecloth to my robe. Now in Sri Lanka, people respect to this robe, nobody touch it, and people keep in the head, and that's how they bring it to the temple, this robe. Now he is telling my respectful, wonderful, beautiful robe is like a tablecloth, right? I don't like it. And then are you married? Right? So then I said, no, I'm not. I'm single, I cannot marry, I'm a Buddhist monk, we have to be single. Oh, you are crazy, right? And so those are the, now I really know that's the way they are talking, young people. Now I can handle those things. I'm like that too, you can see. And so I'm too much American now. So anyway, I don't like that way of his the talking, his behaviors is really, because I'm very traditional Buddhist monk coming from Sri Lanka, brand new, right? And so I was so quiet. Anyway, we handled our, the 15 hours. Before I leave, I just gave him my card. He didn't say even thanks, nothing. Right? He just left. Now I totally forget about it. That moment, I was so kind to this young man. I know my mindfulness. I handle it better. I try to smile to him. I talk to him. I encourage him to talk. I did my best, right? So I left. Then I left the Michigan, Detroit. Now I am living in Chicago. This is the next half of this, the story. After 5 years later, I get an email. Email says, Mark Wagenshaw, the name. I don't know who is this Mark Wagenshaw. Still, my first email, hotmail.com. Right? Now more than 20 years I am using, I never change because I have Gmail too, but I use the Hotmail because many people know that address. So then I got an email, Mark Wagenshaw. Then I thought, who is Mark Wagenshaw? I just opened it. Then there was a story. My name is Mark Wagenshaw. I remember, I hope you remember me, 5 years ago, I met you at Greyhound bus. That's a bus service in Greyhound bus. And so I don't know whether you are alive or died, or I don't know where you are. And so if you are alive, please if you can write me back, please email me back. So then he said, I have some problems. So that day I was going to my college, the university, and my first year being in the university, and I studied really well. I did my education very good. So I graduated, I had a wonderful job now, and the problem is I'm a drug addict. So my parents, they are wealthy, they have money, they said, don't come home. You had to figure it out, no money again, So then they try to put me out. Many times I was trying myself to take care of myself, but it didn't work, it's so difficult. One day I returned home, I had the plan. the plan is I want to kill myself. That was the plan. I came home, I have a plan how I'm going to die, kill myself. I was just, the falling down on my bed and laying on, and I start to think how I'm going to kill myself. It's so scary and fearful. How I'm going to lose my life is very difficult. Now I'm thinking and thinking and thinking. Then thought came to my mind, oh my God, I met a Buddhist monk at the bus. Maybe I want to talk to him. Then he was keep looking. The good thing about American people, if somebody gives something, they keep it. That's a good thing about them. I really appreciate that. And he cannot remember where it was. He's keep looking. Finally, he found my card. Then he sent email. So that's my nature. I responded to him, called him right away. And then he asked me, Bhante, I need some help. I said, how I'm going to help you from the distance? Then I said, how about if you come to Chicago? I don't know about this man. Now he's an adult and drug addict. And so I said, please come to me. You can stay with me. Without too much thinking, I invited him. Then later, I talked to my brother monk. I invited a stranger to a house. And so he's going to live with us like maybe a few months. Are you okay with that? Then he asked, who is that person? I said, drug addict. Right? Then he said, are you crazy? And how we are going to live with the drug addict? Maybe police come and arrest both of us, right? I said, then if they do, let's both go to the jail and practice meditation, right? So I was kind of joking around. And so he said, okay, you are the boss. I cannot, complain about it. And so now I pick him from the airport. Now he's living with me. Now I'm teaching him meditation. Wherever I do my classes, I'm taking them. And so he's doing wonderful. He's doing very well. And so now 3 months, now he's not doing drugs, he doesn't go anywhere. I felt now he's confident to go back. So I said, Mark, now you have to leave. You have to leave, go and get the job again and find your life. He doesn't want to leave me. I said, no, you have to leave, right? I really pushed him away. And so he went back to the New York City. And so he started to work, doing a good job, found a girlfriend and very happy. Then one day he called me and said, Bhante, we are in the relationship a few years now. We decided to marry. And could you please do our wedding? So I flew to the New York City. I did their wedding. Now they have maybe 2 or 3 years old baby. And so they are doing very well, very successful and happy family. And they are Buddhist and girlfriend, the wife and whole family. And that boy, only toys he has the Buddha statues. It's so funny. And always he's playing with the Buddha statues, right? And so sharing this story, what I'm telling you, in that day, when I meet him at the, the Greyhound bus, if I'm keeping my pride and my ego, I don't talk to this man, I don't care about him. Who is this guy talking to Buddhist monk like that? I didn't give up. I wasn't a perfect human being that time. But even I had some kind of surrender, I'm kind of trying so hard myself to let my ego go away from me and talk to this person. The point, because of that little practice, change whole family life. Now my point I am bringing to you, your ego just harmful to you. It is so harmful to you, there is no benefit. Just for your convenience, that's the only benefit you have. Other than that, there is no benefit at all. Right? Just use it for your convenience, that's it. So when you take out that ego little by little, you become very light person, very peaceful person, very happy person, very kind person, and always ready to do things. Right? Always ready to do things. Always ready to spend time with them. So the result is more love, more compassion, unconditional love. Keep going to the world. I think that's why Buddha is very successful. That's why after 2600 years later, after his death, we are sitting here in this beautiful meditation room. Why? Somebody took care of his own ego. Then unconditionally he passed his teaching. So That's why I said this is not very academical course about in the ego, how to taming the ego. The only way to tame this ego, you have to meditate. Meditate means you have to watch when you talk, when you see things, when you have a conversation with the people. Be careful how you present yourself. So, sometimes we have to share our, things about our life and what I learned and those things. Always my way, this is how I am talking. So, I want to talk to you about these things, but I am not talking about with ego. I always reminding that person. So, I want to be mindful. Otherwise, other person get the wrong message, right? And also that person will realize and he's concerned about it. And sometimes people always giving thanks to me. Great, oh Bhante, you did a great talk or something like that. And then I said, thank you so much. No ego. That's how I say. Always I try myself to tell that person I'm trying. And also it will help me to understand who I am, where I am at. So now you can see, do you have any benefit having ego? When you have ego, what will happen? You are the biggest loser in the world. You lose your family, you lose your relationships, maybe you lose your job, and you lose most of things because of the ego. So I don't think only ego we need to survive, to protect ourselves, live our life, to communicate, that's it. That's the only purpose. Other purpose, if you are try to talk about you highly, there is something wrong. There is something wrong. So I don't want to talk more than this. Now I want to bring a little bit more discussion to in the audience. Please ask some questions about ego. Now my question for you: do you need ego? Unhealthy ego? You need it? Unhealthy ego? Yes, conventional, yes. But other than that? So, my question, when you have that ego, it make you peaceful? Those are the questions I ask actually myself. You feel very peaceful, happy? You experience when I have, I am the man. I have the power, I can do everything. You felt happy? Do you? I don't think so. More than happiness, I felt there's a tension. There's a tension. So now I can see I have less tension. Now I think maybe I'm too much, being American, so I'm a kind of spoiled to American culture. And so I don't have that much expectation now, from the people. And so when I come, people have to respect to me, bow to me, and give me a chair or something like that. But I really like to respect to the tradition and giving respect to your community, your culture. Other than that, I don't have that much expectations. Sometimes I'm too much open to that, and I'm so mindful while I'm in Malaysia, because I'm too open now. Right? And so sometimes I have to be a little bit careful, because I have to use my mindfulness a little bit deeply while I'm here, because I don't want to respect to you whatever you are believing. And so, if somebody give me a chair, it doesn't matter, right? And so if I don't have a chair, I just sit here in the floor and talk to you. So I'm totally surrender now. And one time I was invited to a school in the United States. I went to the classroom 4 or 5, I cannot remember. Now I'm just entering the classroom, children are all over the place and talking and the chit chat, and I cannot figure out what they are doing. Now I was looking at them because they don't have uniform, and I cannot see there is a teacher. There is no teacher. Then another guy came, he's the casual, the like something casual, the clothing, and said, "Oh, you are the monk?" I said, "Yes, I am." I said, I want to talk to the teacher, right? Then I am the teacher, right? Then I was looking at, no, kind of like that. You are not teacher or something like that. My face became very sour, right? And so when I see a teacher in our country, like, the wearing a tie and, standing straight and, like very, pride, right? There's no teacher. And so then I was thinking, now my mind is conditioned, they have to give me a chair to sit or nothing, right? Then I was thinking, then I asked him, are you ready to listen to my talk? Yes, go ahead and start. That's what he said. Then later I realized that's how their culture, right? Now when I go to the school system now there, I don't have any expectation. I just walk in. I said, hey guys, how are you? Let's talk, And so I become like them too. Now I'm totally okay with that. So it's not hurting me anymore. So that means I'm accepting the things as they are, more than putting my ego in front of them, right? So that way, easily I can access to those children. So sometimes I'm sitting with them in the desk, and sometimes bunch of children sitting around me, and we are talking like that. So they really enjoy it. So then I realize, when I have big ego in my mind, especially in the United States, very difficult to access to people. Very difficult to access to people. When people see I'm very serious and the prideful or something like that, easily people walking away from me. The one reason I attract so many people to the Blue Lotus Temple, because of my nature. I'm very outgoing. I'm very funny. I'm talking to the people and smiling. And so that will help a lot to give this Dhamma to the world. So my whole point today, when you are really taking out your ego even little bit, it is so powerful. It is helping whole world. It is helping your family. It is, you are giving so much happiness and joy to your children. Now think about, sometimes children come to me and talk, oh, very difficult to deal with my mother. Very difficult to deal with my father. They have just big ego. In the United States, the word we use, a big head. The person who has the big ego, we call he has a big head. So people don't like who has the big head. So be careful. So any question? Okay, now I have to stop. Right? Any questions about ego? Yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. If I don't have ego, I'm enlightened, right? I really do have it. The only difference I can see now about my ego, I see it when it's come. I really see it from the distance, this kind of sneaking in. Oh, hello, my friend, how are you? And I know you are coming. That's how I'm dealing. Actually, that's how I'm talking to my ego, right? So, for your, the question, maybe yes, maybe that's my karmic thing, the move to the United States, moving thing. I don't know about that, right? So maybe my karmic, maybe not. Maybe what happened in this lifetime, and so many reasons, But there's little. You can say, oh, there's an ego about it. No, I just shared my story. I really like what Brother Billy says always. I am having fun. I am having fun, right? So sharing all those stories, what I said, I try to help you and just having fun, sharing stories. Because, without my stories, how I am going to prove what I learn? Right? When I'm sharing my story, of course I use that story about myself, right? But I'm not distracting, I'm not losing myself sharing that story. Because I'm very mindful what I'm talking about. Right? So I'm not making a big head. Does it make sense? I just need mindfulness around it. So you can share your story too. Now, like a few months ago, there's a book published, My Wish. And so one of my students, she wrote this book about my life. The man who brought happiness to America, that's the title, My Wish. And so now people keep asking me, Bhante, how do you feel about now? The book is published. Now everybody is sending you all the nice comments and all those things. I said, I'm the same person. I'm the same person. Now I'm keep telling people I want to be more humble now. More humble. So when you have ego, you are not humble. Right? You are not listening. Very difficult to talk. Right? So those are the qualities keep coming to you. Those wonderful qualities. You become humble. You are listening. Easily you can communicate with other people. Even you have some ideas and concept people sharing with you, whether you don't like it or not, you can sit with them and listen to them. Those beautiful things will happen. Think about this group. If you have one person has a lot of ego, do you like it? No, not at all. Even you don't want to come. When you go to the temple, monk has a big ego. Do you like to go to that temple? No, you don't like it. So always you want to see humble, happy, respectful, loving person. That means less ego. That means less ego. Those are the qualities increase. Anything else?
Bhante, you mentioned by now you can actually see the ego coming. Now, is there any special technique or special method that you use to arouse this mindfulness?
So only method I use, I just watch, right? So people can see, though you had to do vipassana, you had to breathing meditation. Yes, we have to do all of them. But if you cannot figure out what is happening inside you, that what is the point doing all those meditation, right? So more than doing hours and hours of meditation, those practices help me so much, right? Once I did like a 3-month silent retreat, right? When I was young. And so it will help. I did those things too. But more than sitting 1 hour on the cushion, when it arises in my mind, I have to see it right away. Right away. So otherwise, when you are sitting in the cushion, we don't see those things. So when we are dealing with the people at the office, you are presenting one project, right? Beautiful project. You think, I worked so hard, few hours last night, just happened, right, sister? Right? And so, all those things happen. I work all night without sleeping. Right? This is the most beautiful project I made. Now tomorrow morning you go to office and present it to, but nobody is interested. Then how do you feel? How do you feel? In that moment you can see where you are. That's the time you can check your meditation practice. That's the time So today had the very interesting experience. See, the life experiences are very powerful. The temple, they are planning to do the novitiate program, right? So because they know, that I have so many experiences. So there's anyway a monk who planned for that. He invited me, please come to my room. We had to have a little conversation. We need some ideas from you. Then there's 3 monks, right? Because I'm coming from the being born in Sri Lanka, but many years being in the United States, my mind is certain ways conditioned to that way I see things. Other monks coming from really raw Sri Lankan, just came from Sri Lanka, and other one is for a while here in the the Malaysia. Different the way we are seeing things, but they are so into, they want to listen, But most of the things I gave it to them, they accepted, right? Most of the thing I gave it to them, they accepted. And certain things, the one monk, they maybe not, or something like that. He's really rejecting that, right? I said, that's fine. You have a right to reject. But I have the right to say it too, right? So you have a right to reject, but I have a right to say it. And because we are having fun, right? We have a conversation, we are having fun. So then I didn't, then I said, don't feel upset because I didn't feel hurt. That's totally fine. So that moment, even I said that, I felt little, tiny little ego sneaking in. But the good thing about my practice, I'm so happy to say that, I pick it out. I figure it out. Then right after I see that, I felt, no, this is the way I have to handle. I had to be more aware. Yes, my idea, I feel right, maybe that's wrong to them. That's okay. Then I learn from them because I'm so open-minded. I learn from them. I was thinking my idea is the best idea, then all the problem will arise. Sometime after I listen to them, I felt, no, my idea is, this is not best. There's something good from them too. So what is that? We have to become open book. So then less distraction. Because of ego, we're always creating the problems. Okay, anything? Any other questions? Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we cannot, we cannot take others' suffering for our lives, right? Their suffering is their suffering. We cannot take somebody's suffering. So now you have enough suffering to deal with your own problem, and so if you try to think about their problem, so then it's become double, right? So what we have to do, they have to deal their issues and problems. So you have to address your problems, and so my way of dealing with this kind of situation, if really it's a really difficult situation, I shake my head. That's it. I said, that's it, right? Or just listening and observing. No need to engage, right? So if I realize if I'm talking more and more, it doesn't help, then just listen. Whatever you know, already you know. Whatever they talk, you don't know. So get that one from them. And be smart. And don't worry about those other people, because they are maybe far away to understand that. Right? Just be humble, like a bamboo tree. Right? When bamboo tree grow high up, is what will happen? Bend down. When you practice more and more, you bend. Right? When you have an apple tree, when you have full of apple or mangoes, what will happen to the branches? Bend. So your practice, that's a good way to see yourself. When you really practice, you become very humble, loving person. Anybody can talk to you. Anybody can give you ideas. You don't have any conflicts. Those are the progress. If you don't see those progress, still the ego is kicking you. Right? So I always thinking, when I talk about this title, I always try to bring our personal level, right? Our everyday life. So it is very important. Bahun sahas mabhinim mita sayudhantang girimekalang udita ghora sasena marang dhanadi dhamma vidhina jitva munindo tante jasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be peaceful.